The first time I met a dragon, I was 6 years old. It was the day my father died. As I watched him slip away, the warmth of his hand fading from mine, something inside me broke. The world around me shattered in a cacophony of silence that was eerie, overwhelming, and disorienting. The hospital room felt suffocating, the air thick with a weight I couldn't comprehend. In the midst of that incomprehensible sorrow, I heard whispers of a dragon. The dragon was not responsible for my father's death. The dragon was not even in the same world as us. Yet, in my child's mind, it stood as a symbol of strength, of fury, and of something unconquerable. As I grappled with the helplessness I felt, images of fire-breathing beasts danced through my imagination. I envisioned myself as a knight, riding forth to slay the dragon and avenge the loss of my father. But it was more than just revenge. It became a quest for power over my own fate. "Daddy!" I had cried out, tears streaming down my cheeks. But my father's stillness echoed back to me, and despair clawed at my heart. In that moment, sealed forever in the recesses of my memory, I etched a vow. I would kill a dragon one day. Years passed in the swiftness of childhood, and with each passing day, the image of the dragon morphed alongside me. I learned that dragons could be found in books, steeped in legends of old. I dove headfirst into stories that depicted courageous knights wielding swords and shields, battling these mythical beasts. They were metaphors in my world for the fears I could not articulate, the tragedies I could not accept. Each tale added layers to my quest and transformed my grief into an unquenchable thirst for power, control, and ultimately, self-improvement. By the time I turned 16, the dragon had become a part of me, a relentless shadow that egged me on every time I faced adversity. When bullies teased me for my awkwardness, I heard the dragon's roar in my ears. When I faced my failures in academics, I felt the fire of the dragon searing through my doubts. Each confrontation became an opportunity to train, a mental battle against my very own dragon that embodied all my fears, limitations, and loss. I sought wisdom from old mentors, teachers who had long since embraced their own journeys. They preached the importance of harnessing inner strength, of transcending the trials of life through understanding and acceptance. I found solace in meditation, attempting to quiet the chaos around me, to sit and breathe in the lessons the universe offered. The dragon whispering in the back of my mind morphed now from a threat into a teacher. It taught me that in acknowledging my struggles, in facing fear head-on, I was not just a knight. I was becoming the master of my own fate. Still, this journey was fraught with obstacles. At 21, I faced one of the biggest challenges when I got a call that my once vibrant mother had fallen gravely ill. The cancer she had battled for years returned, a cruel foe that threatened to consume her spirit. I was devastated, frightened, and closed off. The dragon roared louder than ever in my thoughts, mocking me, reminding me of all the moments my sword had failed me. It seemed an ironic twist that I had grown so strong yet still felt so helpless in the face of life's true dragons, the ones that didn't yield to swords or strength. I started visiting her every day, bringing flowers and books filled with stories she once cherished. Each visit turned into a lesson, not just for her, but for me. I understood that the greatest battles were not fought on the front lines of a battlefield, but in the hearts of those we love. I watched my mother navigate through her pain with grace, limitation giving way to a profound acceptance of what was. In those moments, the dragon's roar transformed into soft, assuring whispers, reminding me that even when faced with loss, I could still find light and understanding. That summer, in the cool breezes of late afternoons, I began to understand the essence of my journey. Slaying dragons meant not just conquering fears, but embracing uncertainty. I learned that wisdom is often cloaked in vulnerability, that enlightenment resides in our ability to smile through our pain and carry forward despite the odds. When my mother eventually succumbed to her illness, the passage of time offered little in the way of comfort. I felt an emptiness that echoed the day I lost my father. Yet, it was during the stillness of my grief when I remembered the lessons etched over the years. The dragon had always been here to push me, not just to incite rage, but to unravel the deeper truths of life. Each loss taught me resilience. Each trial added new wisdom to my arsenal. A year later, I found myself in a yoga class sitting in the back row. The instructor spoke of being present, of finding one's breath amid chaos, and I was continuously drawn to this idea. I began a journey into mindfulness. Surrounded by people from all walks of life, I finally embraced the truth. Enlightenment is not about vanquishing dragons. It is about learning to coexist with them. Life's complexities, with all their grief and joy, were to be welcomed, acknowledged, and woven into the fabric of my being. With each downward dog and sun salutation, I felt the presence of my past, my father, my mother, the dragon. They had all contributed to the tapestry of my experience. No longer did the dragon represent a monster to defeat. It morphed into a mentor, one I could approach with curiosity instead of fear. I began to understand my quest was not about slaying adversities, but learning the art of transformation, taking the ashes of despair and forging them into wisdom. After attending countless workshops, fostering new connections, and sharing my journey with kindred spirits, I discovered that all my experiences held stories of self-improvement and growth. They reflected a continuous cycle of learning. Each ache, each tear, each laugh had a purpose. Just like in fairy tales, the dragons we face allow us to shine brighter. Now, as I reflect on that child who first encountered tragedy, I see more clearly. I became a journeyer steeped in introspection and driven by the mysteries life unravels. The dragons I once sought to kill were mere reflections of the struggles I had to embrace. Each belief, each challenge, each loss interwoven into the narrative of who I have become. In conclusion, the essence of growth lies in our understanding that every dragon encountered is an opportunity. It urges us to step into our power, to embrace who we are completely, to learn, adapt, and rise. Life is a series of encounters with both joy and sorrow, and it is in these experiences we come to recognize our greatest strength lies not in fighting but in accepting and growing through our trials. So let this story inspire you. Face your own dragons, cherish your journey, and feel empowered to carry forth. Remember, struggle breeds wisdom. Every battle won shapes the heart, and therein lies the true essence of self-improvement. Grow, embrace, and inspire others, for within you lies boundless potential.